Man, I was wrong. Yesterday, I put out a video of a segment of my stream where we had a chat about the layoffs that happened at Bungie, and I speculated along with my friends that this was the doing of Sony. Well, today there has been an article released by IGN about these layoffs that have proved us all wrong that this was 100% Bungie's doing. I am at a loss for words. Just the stuff that's come out of this article, it's so disappointing. And for starters, I want to apologize to Sony for putting the blame on them. We jumped the gun. And then to the devs that got laid off, I am so sorry that your loyalty to the company wasn't enough. I'm sorry that you are now unemployed. It's such a shitty situation. And I'm gonna cry, man. I can't imagine what you are going through at the moment. I haven't read the article. I'm just going off of screenshots that I've seen posted on Twitter. And so I'm gonna read the article now with you guys. I'll be sharing my thoughts here. This was one of the first tweets I saw this morning that I had to retweet and put my thoughts in straight away, is the fact that we often thought the devs weren't listening in terms of PvP and the overall development of the game. We thought many of the devs weren't listening, and the fact that the report says that the developers were begging leadership to make necessary changes to win us back, and for that to fall on deaf ears breaks my heart. I don't understand the thought process of leadership. What were they expecting? That their changes, the push of Eververse, the monetization strategies were gonna win players back? What on earth was going through their mind when they didn't listen to the developers who are just as passionate about the game as us players are? I don't understand it. I really don't. And oh man. So this is the article that got released earlier this morning for me. It's currently 1 p.m. The article is titled Bungie CEO claims layoffs were due to the Destiny 2 underperformance. I wonder why. So the number of employees that were terminated is estimated to be at 100, which is huge. But the one thing that I can't seem to wrap my head around is, of all people to be laid off, Michael Salvatore? Really? He carries the game in terms of the music. Deepstone Lullaby, Regicide, The Last Stand, Journey, those songs were absolute bangers. Some of the best music I've heard in all the games I've played. And you lay him off? I am worried for the soundtrack for the future of Destiny. What on earth did you think doing that? And obviously, I'm not saying that the other employees weren't important. Not at all. They were just as important. The community managers, social media managers, where was your thinking? How can you think, oh, let's just get rid of the key people who are important to connecting with the player base, which is what your game needs to succeed, a player base, to take away our leaders? And I don't know who's in their place. We have Cosmo. I think Cosmo was unaffected. But Hippie and Sam, I loved them, and they just got taken away. Anyway, let's read through this. In an internal town hall meeting addressing a Monday round of layoffs that impacted multiple departments, Bungie CEO Pete Parsons allegedly told remaining employees that the company had kept the right people to continue. What the fuck? IGN has confirmed reports that Bungie took responsibility for the layoffs rather than laying them at the feet of the parent company, Sony. So was this Sony's doing or was it Bungie's? Parson told employees that the layoffs were largely due to the underperformance of Destiny 2 over the last year, as well as a lower than expected pre-order for upcoming expansions of the final shape. You lost the trust of the player base. The story... There was no story for Lightfall. As much as I enjoyed the changes and like the gameplay and stuff, there was no story, there was no hook. It was a make or break for a lot of people, and the fact that it flopped so hard, no wonder people are not pre-ordering the final shape, because they want to see the reviews and everything when it comes out so that they know that they're not going to waste their money like they did with Lightfall. Employees were also told that Destiny 2 player sentiment was at an all-time low. Sources tell IGN that this issue has been flagged to leadership repeatedly for months prior to layoffs, with employees begging for necessary changes to win players back. This is what breaks my heart the most, and I've said that like before we started reading this. This was the part that I saw on Twitter. It breaks my heart. How? Instead of laying employees off, the leadership should have been listening to these employees, because they know their player base. They know what we need, what we want for the game. But in leadership's eyes, from a business perspective, that's not what it's resource and money, and they don't want to spend that. Other employees have told IGN they felt especially frustrated with the layoffs, given the company had completed work on a brand new headquarters. Parson was criticized in some quarters for calling the layoffs a sad day at Bungie in a tweet, which similarly angered several employees we spoke to. Fair enough, it was tone deaf. I was part of the group that called him out on it, but I thought that maybe because this is Sony's doing and maybe he didn't have a part in it, I deleted my quote retweet, but I have since reinstated it when I heard of this article and the fact that this was entirely Bungie's doing. It's tone deaf. It's a kick in the gut for all of the employees. Multiple employees claimed that internally, Bungie's leadership has tried to obfuscate the numbers and departments of those impacted while disencouraging employees from asking questions on these topics in company chats. That's... Those impacted are receiving a minimum of 3 months of severance and Cobra health benefits, though other company benefits terminated immediately. I heard, I'm not sure if they're actually going to cover this in the article, but I did hear that some of the employees didn't realize that they had been terminated because they had been locked out of all of their accounts when they went to sign in. And so that was how they found out. And that is very, very poor. No official email or like explanation on why they were being terminated. It was just, you're locked out. You're locked out now. It's horrible. Multiple employees expressed frustration about the layoffs, saying that they felt that the decisions leading the company's apparent money struggles were out of their hand. No, it was not. You could have just listened to the community, listened to the devs, and made the changes to keep the community happy, and you'd bring people back. I don't know what do you mean? And those that were laid off were being punished for a problem they largely did not cause. Employees familiar with the situation told IGN that the dismissals came alongside what felt like a growing crackdown on QA, with increased job responsibilities and multiple people being placed on performance improvement plans for seemingly minor infractions. Really? IGN has reached out to Bungie for a comment. Wow. I have no words. How do you say you've kept the right people? That is such a kick in the gut. To all those affected, I am so sorry. I am behind you, and I'm sure quite a few of the community is behind you. You guys have done fantastic work. I admire you. And I cannot thank you enough for everything you have done. To the leadership of Bungie, you have fucked up big time. I hope that the feedback you are getting from players, former employees that are there, I hope you are hearing it, because it seems like the begging that we did towards you guys was getting heard by your lower personnel, but not you. You are ignorant. I hope you are hearing this and seeing this and realizing how much you have fucked up. I am worried about the future of Bungie and Bungie's games, Destiny 2 Marathon matter. As a content creator, I am worried about my future because Destiny is my game. It's where all my viewership comes from. I've tried branching out, but those videos do not do anything compared to my Destiny 2 ones. I don't know what else to say other than I am extremely disappointed in Pete Parsons and management. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. In the words of my favorite YouTube content creator, Penguin Zero, that's about it. See ya.